Welcome to week 6 of our Risen Esports Dominate League. I am Otis, and along with me is my co-caster for this week, Alex. And Alex, how are we doing today?
Feeling pretty good, man.
All right, good. Seems like we are already on our way into select, so let's just head right into that. All right, here we go. And the first ban comes out from AFK. It seems to be missing ban. We will get back to you on what that ban should be, but the first ban, real
There might
ban
be
coming
a
out is
might have
Echo
a
coming out
penalty.
from side of Lords of the Rift. All right.
Could be a penalty for subbing at players. I don't know yet. Have to get confirmation on the from the players.
All right. It seems as though there might be. Oh, our mistake here. Since AFK today will be playing with two subs, they're replacing their top laner with Alexandria and their mid laner with their dedicated sub Bobo the Monkey. They lose their first two bans. So only 3 bans coming out. 1 ban from AFK, 3 more from Lords of the Rift. AFK, their only ban this time is the only one they get to ban is Bard. Alex,
Uh,
like how do you think they'll feel about just getting 1 ban, letting a lot of priority picks slip through their fingers?
Priority picks aside, I think the Bard was a pretty good pick here. The support on the opposing side here is a pretty big Bard main, so that's some pretty thorough research from the team. I respect it.
All right, and on the side of Lords of Rift, they're coming out with some pretty strong bans as well as targeted bans. We see the Gragas come out, decently strong right now, but not exactly someone you would put huge focus on, as well as the Echo and Braum bans. Very strong in their current
Oh,
goals right now.
oh,
Ooh,
Nunu is here.
and Nunu is here. We see
Nunu is here.
the
Oh
powerhouse, the
boy.
king of the Rift in the latest patch, patch
That's
6.2, 8.2.
8.2, yeah.
8.2, we did not travel back 2 years in time. Now,
That's
Nunu and
this is gonna
Azir,
be hard to deal with here.
perhaps one of the strongest combos right now.
Insanely strong. As of yet, I believe if both players are like even in gold, they can two-man Baron at 20 minutes.
They can 2-man Baron at 20 minutes. It has been scientifically proven that with just their core items, and Azir and a Nunu are able to just do Baron on spawn. Now, enough about the Lords of the Rift. A freak of freaks here coming out with Kayn, Syndra, and they are currently hovering the Leona.
Um,
Chooses to pick
so
the Varus instead.
when I did some OPGG research on these teams, the AD carry for Africa Freak or Africa AFK, sorry, their AD carry is a pretty good Varus player. He's oh, Syndra is Leo. Oh, apparently the Syndra is Leona.
Yeah, we
That's
are getting some confirmations that
that's fair enough. Yeah, I was
there
imagining that there'd be a Leona pick here. The support is
there's
Leona
some
main.
mistake mistaken bans out here. The actual I'm sorry, not bans. The actual picks were Kayn, Leona, and then Varus. Those are the actual picks here. Will be updated in a moment. Meanwhile, a Zoe is being hovered by the side of LTR and picked by the side of LTR.
Blind pick Zoe. That's interesting.
Blind pick Zoe is Zoe indeed is quite powerful right now, but into
There are some picks that can shut her down fairly
indeed
easily.
into a poor lane, she will not be able to abuse her power as much as she would like. Now, an Orin ban and a Gangplank ban coming out from both sides. Since the
I have to imagine that's a targeted ban with the Ornn because of the nerf that he received in patch 8.2, making
seems
him
as though the Zoe pick was on purpose. They will have either Azir or Zoe in one of the side lanes, or God forbid we see it in a support.
oh, You know what? You're right. Nard Gangplank band's coming out for LTR though. I wonder who they have in store for top lane. Who wants to get those champions out of the way?
Alright. And mostly target bands. Ashe coming out for a side of LTR, going for very high utility team comp.
This bot lane is going to be very volatile.
Yeah.
I expect a lot of fights coming out from the Leona Varus and the Ashe.
And a Malphite pick coming out from AFK. Now, as we said before, these picks were mistaken, and they do have a Leona now. Leona Malphite combo, very strong, able to just lock them down for a maximum of even 3 seconds of just pure hard CC, while Varus raids in Hellfire from the back.
Oh, and then King.
Yeah,
There's the.
these comps,
Hopefully he goes.
AFK
Hopefully
definitely looking,
Red
and the
King
Orion pick,
oh,
definitely looking for that.
this is some Wombo combo right
Definitely
here.
logged in that team comp there, looking for the Wombo combo.
Galio. Galio's a pretty safe pick into Malphite.
Galio is a pretty safe pick, so that means we will be seeing from Lords of Rift. Correct me on this, Alex. Actually, do not correct me on. Just tell me what to think. Who will we see in each of these lanes?
To me, it would make sense to me to put the Galio in top lane and the Zoe in the support spot, but it could be interchanged. I'm not sure of that one yet. I don't know. Honestly, it could be either way.
Alright, could be either way. Now, it's interesting team comp coming out from Lords of Rift. Very strong power picks in the meta right now, but perhaps not if they do not utilize them correctly.
To be fair, Zoe's second highest win rate is in bot lane, is in the support role. So
That is a fair point right now. However, with the early game aggression coming out from Leona, very high damage with her, of course, with that aftershock. We'll have to see
aftershock Leona, yes.
I'll have to see if those sleepy trouble bubbles are enough to keep them alive in lane.
I do imagine though, if either of them get hit by a Zenith blade early on, it's probably going to be a first blood.
Of course. So from the pick ban, you can tell Freak of Freaks their win condition very clearly. They go in for the Malphite ultimate, that unstoppable force, charging in with that ball carried by Oriana.
Right.
Along with Leona Solar Flare. They lock 1, 2, 3 people down. The team fight is theirs. But what are LTR? What are the Lords of the Rift looking for?
It looks like they have a very
Condition.
loose pick comp, so I think they're going to be looking for a lot of vision and to see if they can get some Sleepy Trouble Bubbles or Enchanted Crystal Arrow picks going into the jungle. But then again, if they're fighting in the jungle, they're going to be up against Malphite, Leona, Oriana. It's not going to be a fun time. I do look to see how this goes.
Right.
It does seem like it's a Galio top, though.
It would seem like it's Galio top. That would be the most prudent course of action. Galio support hasn't quite been a thing for the longest time, if ever.
Come on, man. AoE taunt?
AoE taunt. That is quite something to, just pull off those high hitters on a Freak of Freaks should they get ahead.
I hope we see Red Cane coming out, or Rast, sorry, out of the Freak of Freaks, because it'll fit with this team comp very well. He doesn't output as much damage as Assassin Cane, but he of course will have the utility of knocking people up and whatnot and healing and living forever.
Quite so. A little bit of fallback in case that Wombo combo doesn't work. A little bit of sustained damage as well.
Yes, pretty good.
Pretty good. Now, as the teams go ahead and lock in their picks as we go through, how do you think these lane matchups are going to go? Namely these highlighted lanes. Of course, the Galio versus Malphite and the Orianna versus Azir.
Orianna versus Azir is pretty safe farm matchup on both sides.
Nice.
I don't think we'll see too much action unless there's jungler
Quite the exciting
interference.
matchup, of course. Farm
Yeah,
matchup.
farm matchup.
Always fun to see.
As for the top lane, it'll be a lot of just poking and farming and whatnot.
Right.
But of course, the jungler interference is what we're looking for to see what these lanes succeed.
Yeah.
Bot lane will be
Bot lane.
very volatile
That
though.
will be a lane to watch indeed, with
I feel
such
like
a
if
high engage.
either of the supports land their crowd control, it could be a pretty good fight for them.
Right.
But I do have to give the advantage to the Freaker Freaks here.
Now you do have to notice when there is two people in lane against Zoe, that's twice as many people for the sleepy triple bubble to hit on. It'll be a field day for Zoe, where teammates have to coordinate in order to avoid that heavy hitting CC of hers. But speaking of heavy hitting CC, Leona herself is no slouch. Until she gets to level 6, Zoe is, to be said, quite immobile.
Quite
Quite
immobile.
mobile.
It'll be very dangerous, and I hope we see some like respect flashes instead of just dying with both cylinders up.
Quite so.
I hope we see. I hope we see a lot of like not a lot of counter jungling, but it looks like what both of these junglers are aiming for this game is a lot of jungle and vision control. To see that the other one doesn't get the fast track on a gank on mid or bot.
All right, and we are looking for we're really looking for to see if this Nunu will be able to live up to the hype. That is something that just sort of stands out to me. Nunu not exactly just really taken right now for his numbers, extremely high numbers right now, very high win rates as proof for that,
Yeah,
how good
I
he is.
believe his win rate's like 55% right now or something like
Wonder
that.
if that combo of Nunu and Azir is enough to keep AFK off the backline, keep AFK under wraps.
They do have some pretty good peel though with the Azir wall and the Galio. But I don't. I really do question how much you're going to be peeling against their all-in Wamba.
Right, and we're looking at some summoner spells. This is either a very aggressive summoner spell lineup coming out from the side of Lords of the Rift, or else they are taking quite a few unsealed spellbooks. We see so far in loading 3 ignites being taken on the sides of Lords of the Rift. One on Azir, one on Galio, and one on that Zoe.
I would imagine that we have an unsealed spellbook in top lane for Galio, but then that would take away from. Interesting, actually. So once again, we do have the Galio top, Azir mid, Zoe support for those picks. It's some pretty good crowd control from both sides.
Yep. You have quite a lot of crowd control, quite a lot of zoning coming out from LTR. I think going to this, what are your predictions? Who do you think will come out ahead in this fight?
I think that whichever jungler gets the first gank off might have the edge in setting up lanes for success. But if it comes to late game team fights, I have to go to AFK. What about you?
Going to AFK.
Do you
Honestly,
share my sentiment?
I would love to share your sentiment. However, um, for those that did not know, we did feature AFK in their game against Memes Aside last week, and AFK honestly, while they did have their moments where they shined. However, they would have to pick up a lot of slack between last week and now in order to pull off something with this team comp. I might have to go with Lords of the Rift here.
Fair enough. Split decision. I look forward to the end result.
All right, it's between us two, 1-for-1.
It's interesting though that LTR banned Gangplank and Gnar when they went for the Galio pick.
That is quite interesting to know, actually. Galio, we haven't seen Galio in the top lane or, that being said, the meta in a small while.
He's being played a fair bit in China right now as a pretty like beefy mid laner with the just Abyssal Mask versus like the Azir meta, Orion and Malzahar meta.
So we see something interesting coming out. There's only one unsealed spellbook on the side of Lords of the Rift. The Azir and the Zoe will be stuck with that Ignite for the rest of the game. However, that is
Seems fair though. With
that is only on paper, of course. Zoe has access to every single summer spell in this game, along with a few more, perhaps.
I think it might be for just in case that the red can get the Grievous wounds on him as fast as you can.
We do have to note that Zoe will not be able to proc her W as often. As we know, in order for Zoe to get those bubbles, those extra summer spells and item actives off the minion, she has to be the one to take those minions.
That is true. We might see a CS deficit between AD
there might be an
carries if
early
that
CS
happens.
deficit. As a result, in case they want to give the Zoe that early, those early power spikes, getting the redemptions, getting those GOPs, getting those.
It is a gamble.
Yeah. Of course, no. Sometimes those gambles pay off. Namely, in the Chinese league, the LPL, a couple days ago, a kill was gotten by a Zoe off of a redemption. So sometimes those little things pay off.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, you hate to see it. That's just what happens. Alright. Alright, here we go. It is 8 p.m. Eastern Time on this 27th of January, and we load into the first game of Africa Freaks versus Lords of the Rift in this week 6 of Dominates Risen.
We have some quick things going out from LTR, going through the bot lane. Might be going for an invade through bottom river bush.
Quite so. We see all of LTR funneling towards that bot side.
Interesting. Wonder what we'll see here. Considering Kane will likely start topside or raids, or sorry, Raptors.
A line of scrimmage set up by Africa Freaks. However, that Varus is down by the jungle. Of course, that Nunu with that level 1 consume.
Oh,
ooh, he might get collapsed on here.
He's caught.
Early skills used. That Justice Punch does not hit. Flash had to be burned by Sean.
Flash burned by Zoe as well. That's going to be interesting.
That is quite an.
That is going to be hard in lane.
Now, one does have to question that because Zoe did take that Paddle Star level 1. It's not like she took that early Sleepy Trouble Bubble Flash in range to get that huge 2.2 second C at CC. So one has to wonder.
I feel like it could have been a kill if she took the Sleepy Trouble Bubble.
It could have been a kill indeed. Now, it's only up to one's imagination what could have happened in the universe where she did take Sleepy Trouble Bubble, and if she did get that first kill.
So it looks like both junglers are starting topside. Kane starting leashless, Nunu with the help of Galio.
Yep. Which.
This is pretty good though.
I would
honestly
say
got to lane early, and it doesn't look like Nunu would know that Kane started topside, so he might be going to try and invade his blue buff, which I hope he
might
does.
say this puts the Nunu ahead early on though. Even though Kane's
he will definitely have the farm advantage, yeah.
Oh, yeah, quite so. A little bit of just early trading back and forth here. Nothing quite as exciting as that level 1.
Mid lane looking for the push advantage here.
Zoe landing
to keep the priority, yeah.
A nice little power start, getting those, getting those spell thieves edge tucks in. That is to notes. Ooh, and nice Sleepy Trouble Bubble.
Nice Trouble Bubble. Nice block by the Leona.
Of course, now that we are in patch 8.2, these huge support changes have come out. Justice Punch goes in on that Malphite, but the Winds of Ward follow-up is not there. So most of the damage is mitigated. Now this Malphite did go Corrupting Potion, while Galio went with the Doran's Ring and 2 potions. So the sustain is in Galio's favor, especially if Pimph keeps on having trouble laying those skill shots. As I say that though, he lands a great combo right there. Chaining in, getting Alexander down to under 200
Got the
health.
last auto attack off too. With the corrupting pot, you should be safe to stay under tower.
And this is always just being incessant in her poke.
Looks like the Nunu is looking for invade here after Kane did his full clear. He's not gonna get anything though.
Yeah.
But it is interesting to bring up though. Even though Nunu did have the leash on top side and Kane didn't, Kane finished his jungle clear like way before Nunu did. He's 2 camps up right now going into his first recall. Nunu grabbing his Hunter's Talisman, whereas Kane's getting his blue side. Stalker's Blade, sorry.
That is interesting notes, Kane being able to just in fact out jungle that Nunu through. Well, mainly through the fact that Nunu lacks very much in that AoE damage. Great, of course, for securing.
Until he gets Cinderhawk, he's pretty. His farm is
until he
slow.
gets that Cinderhawk.
He did take his Raptors after his red buff though, so I have to imagine that it would have been a little bit faster if he went for another camp, like probably Gromp or Wolves.
Alright, looking at these jungle paths, Stephen Kane will be taking that Sculler in the top side, getting some early vision. While the Sculler in the bot side has been taken early on, but Nunu has despawned at this point.
We had a gank coming in the mid lane.
Yeah, we do have a gank coming in. POS coming a little bit in there. No summoner spells forced out. That shifting Shurima Sands just sped him out of there.
The Shurima shuffle.
That Shurima shuffle. Just shuffling his way out. Shuffling on the eaters.
Oh, Nunu looking to just be a general nuisance over here.
Nunu.
We got bot lane cheating up. Oh, okay. So the Zoe got smite from minion, and it looks like they're gonna try and take an early drag here. Might be looking at a big fight.
That is a very interesting play. Great use of that summoner spell coming out from Zoe, as well as that poke coming out from both sides.
Oh.
However, they are aware of this. It's up to Bobo to see if he can.
They're just gonna give it. They're gonna give it up.
Double smite.
They're gonna give it up.
They have to give it up at this point. You're right.
Oh, I have to think that if they collapsed a little bit sooner, it could have been a very, very big fight for AFK.
I do have to say it was graced by Lords of Rift though to be able to capitalize on that. Having 2 smite. Now they were not aware, I believe, that Kane's smite was down. However, if they were, they would have just straight went for having 2 smites in the early game, along with that consume. Bot lane. Zoe and Ashe still being able to keep that poke down. We haven't seen Zakkas going on that Leona though. She might be looking to.
Yeah, he's been playing pretty passive because Zoe's been hitting a couple bubbles.
Use her body to keep her support open. Goes in
with
that Zenith.
As we say it.
Yeah. It's a hits down. However, the trade might not be there. Sean takes a little bit, poke goes in a little bit too deep. Try and chase that Zoe.
Oh!
And a flash coming out. The real flash from Steak and Shaco. Taking down Zakkas for that first blood. Maximum range Paddle Star.
That was actually a really great play. Baited it in the fight. Leona didn't use any summoners. Then he got the extended Paddle Star coming in. Oh, we have bot lane. We have Orianna coming down. Looking for a gang.
This Orianna is
lots
level
of
6
pings.
down.
Lots of pings.
Looking to. Those pings do come out from Lords of the Rift, so they realize Orianna is coming down. However, Zoe did blow her real flash, so this is, if anything, the smallest moment of weakness that Lords of Rift have. 4 summoner spells available for the bot side of Freaking Freaks. Not only 2, only 1 available for the side of.
Nunu's going in. Nunu's going in for blue steel over here, while Kane does his Krugs down bot. I think he'll get it in time. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, his smite coming up.
That's smites and the consume coming
And
out.
consume coming
No way
up,
that's the.
Oh, he might be giving it over to Galliot. Oh no, no, not today. Oh, Orianna's cheating up.
Has to settle for just this Gromp.
So we are seeing the counter jungle coming out from the Nunu.
Yep, we are seeing that power from that Nunu. Now, that counter jungle is not exactly the reason why Nunu was so powerful. We do have to
It's like an OG reason why Nunu was powerful.
attribute that to his blood boil. However, a gank coming up from the top side onto Pep. He. Ooh, and
nice flash.
Just gets him barely out of the way from that sub force. However, but won't keep
the stopwatch.
Nunu is here, keeps.
Oh, Nunu's not 6 yet though.
Galio alive. Nunu's not 6, so there's no.
That's the farm advantage though.
But that perfectly timed stopwatch gave him just enough time for Nunu to come back in and keeps Galio alive. Well played by the side of Lords of the Rift.
So because the Kayn had the farm advantage in his jungle, he had 6 and Nunu didn't. I feel like if Nunu had 6 there, it would have been a much different fight.
It could have been a much different fight indeed. That overextension by Bull Monkey and trying to get that kill, did not expect that stopwatch. In the end, may have cost him his life if Nunu was 6. However, here Nunu is 6, so if we do see another fight break out, it might turn very differently.
While that gank was going on top lane, the Zoe was roaming mid and got some pretty good damage on the way around it, along with just lane pressure and wards and whatnot. We used to see 3 pinks in the bot side river. It's pretty good control over that river. I don't think
Zoe is
Kayn's coming
6,
for a gank
so she does
anytime.
have that forward jump. Just she'll be even more difficult to catch, especially when Leona is still 5. Also to note that on that spell thief of Zoe, she got that cleanse, which is just perfect in the face of Leona, I have to say.
This is a lot of damage that Zoe's outputting, like relatively unpunished from Leona.
Just being a general nuisance.
Oh, engaged.
There's the engage, however. Zoe uses the cleanse, tries to does not expect that much damage coming out of the power star, gets punished for going in. Kayn secured his own blue buff, I'm sorry, red buff from the Nunu and tries to get a kill on the Nunu as well. Nunu flashes a little bit early, and
Nunu
Kayn follows him
flashed
right
early.
over the wall. Kayn flashes over that Emperor's Divide,
Good flash.
and that was 0 flashes away from that command. Shockwave, flashes everywhere being burned. Meanwhile, this whole time,
coming out.
off the back of that Leona kill, Lords will try to get a little bit of poke down on the tower. And forced a flash and a heal out of Varus early on. Just as punch comes out of the Galio. It is quite the poke fest, and Galio's high early damage has really given this lane over to. And what a play!
That's the level 7 Zoe coming out.
That is that Zoe coming out, coming with that paddle star portal jump, spell thief flash, which of course gives her that tiny little bit of movement speed.
That was
plus
ridiculous.
her passive.
It gave her the range as well, which maxed out the damage, I think.
This damage coming out from Zoe is just insane. Gets that sleepy trouble low, however, jumps a little bit too far forward.
And he's
solar flare misses.
This I have to imagine we're seeing a Zoe ban in the next game. This is way too impressive.
This is just doing all the
It doesn't seem like they know how to play against
Zoe
it,
is 3-0-1. She has 100% kill participation. She is making Ashe her support this game. And gets the tower off the backside and extending that gold lead up to 4k by 12 minutes in this game.
So part of the 4k gold lead, of course, is the Zoe, but there's a 40 CS, about a 40 CS lead in top lane right now. And they have 20 CS in the 80 carries.
Of the 4k gold advantage, about 1.6k of that is on the Zoe herself, taking the lion's share of that gold lead. Lion's share, is that the same?
I believe so, yeah.
I believe so. It seems like not just in the bot side. The bot side it was more apparent, but in all lanes, Afrika Freaks are losing their matchups in their attempt to survive this early game in order to get that team fight comp going in.
It's more so surprising that this bot lane is swung so far in favor of LTR, especially with the Leona Varus. Of course, the Zoe pick was like did a lot of damage early, but you just have to imagine that if they like played safe and stayed on her tower until level 6, that would have been the freebie of 2v2s, right?
Quite so. Now Zoe, not exactly going for support stuff. Ooh, misses that Paddle Star forward jump combo. Misses the damage.
I think that's pretty smart of the Zoe at this point. He's obviously the strongest person in the game.
Yeah.
Just have to go for more damage. Well, because
Definitely.
Eye of Frost gives the gives the Sightstone.
Yeah,
now.
it gives the Sightstone, so
So
she
that's
only has
really all
those
you
one item.
need, yeah.
So it gets the Eye of Frost for her quote-unquote support.
Yes, the good support.
Yeah.
Oh, and Zoe has a teleport now.
And builds that
Looking
early. Now teleport on Zoe is quite a scary thing. However, there's no teleport on Galio, so
Oh,
if there's a teleport,
The
there's no
long range sleepy double bubble.
Oh, there's the flash coming in. Oh, great.
Oh,
That great play out
That
of
was a-
Train Boy. Misses everything from
Train Boy.
Everything from Lord
Train Boy.
misses on the Train Boy. Turns from a 2-man shockwave. Monkey goes in for some damage with that Humble Trespass, however. Great, another Sleepy Trouble Bow comes in from that Zoe. Everything is just going Zoe's way right now. Hero's entrance, keeping that Ash alive from that Solar Flare. Gal comes in with a 2-man stun. Tries to zone the Freaking Freaks away, however, he is being zoned himself for more than he can chew. Force the flash away, use that hero's Justice Punch, but Zakaz follows him up along with that Unstoppable Force. Kill goes over to Alexandra of Afrika Freaks, and Afrika Freaks keep on pushing this mid lane, Zoe doing her and Ash doing their best to clear the minion wave. In the end, still victory to Lords of Rift though.
It was a 2-for-1.
It was a 2-for-1.
Yeah, the Zero Diamond Tower.
Oh, that is
What do you
true.
want? So
During all that,
I guess first we'll talk about the dive first. It was pretty well executed by LTR. Yeah, by LTR. The stopwatch, amazing. It was perfectly timed.
Perfectly
missed
timed
missed all of the Nunu damage. Missed the
Nunu
Ash
damage.
Arrow too, right?
No Ash Arrow. No Emperor's Divide. However, Emperor's Shuffle coming in. Try and get that poke down. Sean. Ooh, a split second. Command, protect, and a heal keeps him alive.
Wow.
So
Oriana is playing out of his mind right now.
Yeah, doing her best to keep her team in the game. Dodging the Paddle Star, but not the Sleepy Troll bubble. So still takes damage from another Paddle Star. Just goes to show how a little bit of early cooldown reduction along with a level 4 Paddle Star and of course Sleepy Trouble will lasting for about like 2.5 seconds. Being able to get 2 Paddle Stars in. Galio goes back to the top side.
So I guess we'll take a look at the item builds here. Looks like we're going for Rage Blade on the Varus here, which is pretty meta build right now. He gets like really fast attacks when he kills a minion because of his passive. Oh, top lane gank.
Top lane gank from Kayn, but that Galio is just too tanky at this point. Gank is not able to come in. Galio doesn't exactly have any armor. Still sitting on about 50 armor. Kayn doesn't have any early armor pen, but he still has quite a decent bit of base damage.
We have the Blue Smite Warrior Kayn with movie beats coming out.
Yep.
So
we might be looking for. We might be looking at a shadow.
Might be looking at a Shadow Assassin Kayn.
Assassin Kayn. Rift Herald went over the side of that Nunu. When taking it very early, soloing out that Rift Herald. Might summon it here just to take down this mid turret on the next wave.
Right now, if I were shot calling on LTR, I would send the Galio bot lane to get split push pressure with. He's Unsealed Spellbook, so with his Unsealed Spellbook and grab a teleport, right? Get some split push pressure going, so the Malphite would have to
everything
match.
just being used on that Zoe. Ultimate from Humble Trespass from that Solar Flare. The Zoe just died too fast to even see.
Oh man.
It seems like
that was some really good CC.
That was good CC. Afrika Freaks, knowing the strong points of Lord's Rift right now, knows that a lot of that gold is on that Zoe, so if they shut her down, they can shut down a lot of that pressure from.
Second Infernal spawning in 15 seconds.
Seems
While
like that
Kane's
Riptail was
top.
used top side, and the
Draw
turret just
Kane away,
barely
yeah.
survives with 2 HP. 2 HP is all that separates that top turret going down. However, of course, Galio's staying here, and on the next wave he'll be able to get that turret. Minions will hit that once.
Second Infernal Drag coming through with the new coming. Oh, it looks like they're gonna fight over this one.
So Nunu will be setting up here, and here it is, Galio just finishing off that turret. Zoe, Steak, and Chico still getting that
Nunu secured.
consistent poke down. Nunu secures it with that assumed smite. Gold Monkey tried his best, however was not enough in the face of all that true damage, and Alexander just having to run.
This is really good that he's keeping the Malphite busy, so he can't teleport in for
Huge pressure coming down
unstoppable force.
onto that Malphite.
This is really big.
And now from that poke, the bot lane of Africa Freaks has to back off. Lords of Rift
Looks
will
like
be
we got a
looking
mid
for
tower
the
coming through here.
And the mid tower will be going over to them, and with this, the outer ring of turrets goes down for Freaka Freaks. We look at this map, and Lords of Rift are up 3 turrets to 0. They have more vision in the jungle. They have vision in the opposite side of the jungle, while there are no blue wards in the side of on Lords of Rift side. What will Freaka Freaks have to do to make this work in order to keep up with the side of LTR?
Keep their lanes pushed, farm up, wait for late game. Right now it doesn't look like they can fight unless they hit like the nastiest wombo combo you've ever seen.
Sounds like that is the only choice here. Blue buff goes over to the Orianna. K knows.
I think that's the first one in this game that the Orianna's got. Because the Nunu's had such good pressure on their blue side jungle.
And we can see that gold lead coming in. Now gold lead has not grown from before, still a 4k gold lead, but every once in a while that little smidgen of that gold lead will show up, you know, where it matters, especially in the bot lane. Ashe has her core, she has the 2 items versus Varus just sitting on 1.5.
Varus only has the Rage Blade and Recurve Bow right now. Yeah.
Varus just only has a Rage Blade and a Recurve Bow.
You have to think that's because of the early call pickup though.
That is a good point actually, you know, Ashe getting that bonus 300 gold. Nunu sitting on a complete item in that Warmogs, while Kayn is still waiting for a little bit of gold to get either Youmu's or
this is
Dustblade.
A little over 20 minutes. The Kayn's looking for his Youmu's Dustblade right here, yeah. Does look like we have the Shadow Kin coming in. Which is, it's good and bad. There's definitely trade-offs.
And with the core of items of LTR done. Oh, that was the actual flash burn off from Zoe. Good little pick there. But with the core items of LTR done, they have that Baron pressure. They are able to threaten that Baron at any point in this game now. Flash burn from the side of Zagast.
Zoe
Command
going way too
Zoe
deep with no flash.
Bursted down. 3 ultimates, Command, Shockwave, Chain Corruption, Shoulder Flare, all used for that Zoe. Now, Freaka Freaks can keep on pushing this, but they are in high risk if they do so. They have spent a lot for that Zoe.
Well, you did ask how, like, one way that a Freaka Freaks would come back into this game, and you know that's one of them. Just the complete throw.
The Shadow Step coming in, but and a pause comes out from one of the sides. Perhaps there is some connection issues or hardware issues. We will get back to you on that in a second. Meantime, that gank in top lane just shows how bad of a spot.
Way too farmed right now to be looking for a 1v1. Yeah.
When the Kayn goes in for that dive, and instead he takes the brunts of that punishment.
Yeah.
You know, he comes out worse for wear.
So I want to talk about that Zoe again. It looks like he just missed the Sleepy Trouble bubble off of when he portal jumped in, right?
Right.
And he had no flash, so he was going way too deep with no form of escape aside from waiting for his portal to come back, right? Oh, we got the it's resuming, so we're good. But that was just cocky play from the Zoe. Just think
Seems
he
like
wouldn't
the
get
issue was
punished.
resolved. Yeah. Now from before, this Kane did choose to go Shadow Assassin. As we see here, he has the blue version all upgraded up in his skills. And it seems like Lords of the Rift are looking to just keep the side lanes pushed, maybe look for a pick before they attempt that Baron. And
Oh,
it should be on their memo that the Baron should be the next thing they go for.
so when the Galio swapped out his Ignite for Teleport, I think that's what he should have been doing, bot, to draw some pressure and split pushing, but I don't know if we'll see that coming out from these teams.
Like,
I think they might just be looking for more 5v5s, even though they have map pressure and whatnot.
we did see in those fights on top lane, Pimp can keep that wave push up and win out in the trades against that mouth fights. So he just not in need of that ignite anymore, especially when there's
Right.
long range sleepy trouble bubble hits onto Kane.
Oh boy.
And
Oh
that is
my.
just, oh my goodness, all the damage coming out onto Bow Monkey.
And there's the Baron. It's instantly turns to Baron.
Instantly turns
they're on
to
a
Baron.
ward, who cares? Who cares that they're on a ward? This is the Baron
Does not
coming
need
out.
to care. That is Zero getting
Might-
buffed up by that Nuno. You see that 2 attack speed coming out with just 1 item. Solar Flare hits onto 3 but no stun.
Insane.
One
Looks like they're
chain
turning.
onto the what a just a quite a messy
What a
team fight, you know.
Clown
On the backside,
team
that
fight right here.
Train Boy and Sean free firing onto the Ashe, free firing onto everybody. Somehow they managed to turn this fight.
This is bad. So when they
That was quite strange. I missed that over there. Pimp goes in on that trade though, getting that full combo down onto Orion, finishes it off. That cast does not have that Zenith, but it cannot follow up onto Pimp. I'm sorry, I just went speechless there. That's
yeah, that was
This fight was
that
quite
was
something.
crazy.
and I also
Well,
wonder how Freaks turned that. You know, we did see all the ultimates coming down. However, each ultimates, all those 1v1 ultimates, at most hits 1 or 2 people and destroys
yeah,
their
I think it was mostly that they were down Baron damage, right?
right.
That they were like down in health from taking Baron and whatnot.
It seems
And
like
I
the
think
whole time
that-
Varus was just free firing.
Exactly. There wasn't any dive going towards him or any focus.
And off
And
the
it
back
looks
of
like we
that,
have a Baron, another dragon coming out.
Freaks
First the
picks up
game
their
for
first dragon of this game.
Okay, yeah.
And they will see little misses.
Oh,
Zakas is way out of position. Does not have the flash.
He's way out of
Will
position.
die
yeah.
for his that late rotation. The rest of his team makes it out alive though.
Yeah, he should have left way earlier. Let the Kane finish it and
Just shadow step over the
pop
wall.
out. Yeah. Oriana picking up a blue buff here. They're probably looking to get vision in AFK's topside jungle. Yeah, start the Baron, or just start the Baron again.
Or just
Well,
start
at
the
least
Baron again.
they have vision control this
Yeah,
time. Yeah,
automatically,
everyone's recalled.
They
I
know
think
that
they have
Freaker
to
Freaks
do
had
this
to
one
reset
up,
off
yeah.
that. And you just see that Baron melting.
Melting, yeah.
That must have been 10 seconds at most, you know?
That was a pretty quick Baron. At 25 minutes, and they have 2 Infernals, 1 Ocean Drag.
There's a 2 attack speed of 0 onto that Baron. That
Yeah, not to
Baron-
mention his the ability power bonus that he gets from the new W as well.
Exactly,
From
that
the
Billy
Blood
Power.
Boil.
Quite interesting, if I have to say.
It's a
Design point from
great,
Riot.
great buff from Riot there.
Giving 40% ability power on level 1 of that ability.
Yeah. Well, they wanted to make Nunu viable again, and that's one way to do it.
Yeah, that's one way to do it, and they made him viable again, you know, quote unquote, by making like half the other junglers
Yeah.
obsolete.
So Azir's caught his core of Nash's Leandries. It looks like he's gonna be outputting like a lot of damage with
Maybe
the
looking
Blood Boil at
maybe
this
finish
point.
this build
Yeah.
soon.
Hopefully, with his Crystal Magic gun.
Oh,
we got an
that
Nash
Shadow
Arrow coming
Crystal Arrow
through.
comes down, hits that Varus off the screen.
Oh,
Two-man shockwave
huge
onto
shockwave.
shockwave. Solar Threat, however, was
Bot
on the other
lane.
side, but they managed to turn it onto that Nunu. Use the Absolute Zero a little bit too late.
Oh,
Ends up doing no
beautiful
damage.
shockwave.
Great shockwave.
It caught two of the squishies while they were hard focusing.
7-1-2 Orion just carrying this team off the backside. Now
Oriana picks up the Zanyas too, keeps him a little bit more safe and
I don't really like these
whatever
builds.
comes his way.
Just due to the damage coming out from the side of Lords of Rift, Varus has to go with that Wit's End second item, not being able to go for more damage.
I like the top lane by end.
Now Train Boy is
It's a
ahead,
big
but
chunk of damage.
nothing against a tank with high combo burst damage. Now he might be a little bit too far up, just as much missiles, but that's
it's another.
ooh, that shield.
Oh, he's got Zanyas. He might be Zanya barriering.
Forced to back off of that high Galio damage.
Base damage mixed with Abyssal Mask is pretty crazy, dude.
Crazy. Of course, with that high magic resist plus his magic resist shield, Oriana cannot fight him. She can burst down the squishies as easily, you know, come through him like butter, but not through Galio. You know, can't cut through stone.
I would have liked to see the sorcerer shoes come through from the Oriana, especially when you're like that fed and needing to do that much more damage for your team, right? But I mean, I guess
the amount of magic damage coming out from Lords of Rift.
Of course, yeah.
Outside of the Ashe, there's practically no physical damage. And as a result, we do see 3 Mercury Shreds on the side of Freak of Freaks to compensate for that. Meanwhile, Lords of Rift have a little bit more freedom in the boots they choose.
Correct.
Unique boot except for Sorcerer's Shoes. Zoe go in for that little bit of poke. Does not hit. Solar Threat onto the Galio as well as the Unstoppable Force as well as the everything.
They're just hard focusing the tanks.
Albert Trespass onto the Ashe finisher off. That's ooh, the 2-man shockwave coming out from the Train Boy gets the back in the fight. However, the Kayn has a back off. Sean is just free firing the back line. Nobody's
is
looking for that hit.
Oh,
Paddle Star has not gone in. Flash forward by Sean.
Flashes
a little
forward.
Bit stays alive from.
Oh, he's alive.
He's alive.
Triumph.
That triumph.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing, amazing play by Sean. Knows the.
That was
the bare limits. And here we see the turnaround. That might have been.
Is this where it turns?
That might have been the tipping point right there, where it turns.
LTR picking like bad fights.
Off the fight of
just letting Sean free fire the whole time.
Yeah. And I do have to give props to Freak of Freaks, you know, knowing the team comp from Lords of Rift, their idea is just to keep poke down, keep a Freak of Freak suppressed. With the Sand Soldiers, with those volleys, with Zoe, everything from Zoe.
Of course.
And it's just great from a Freak of Freaks being able to pull that trigger on such a moment's notice.
We do have to give props though to the Kayn, who pretty much doped solo.
Yeah, completely took Ashe out of the fight.
Took Ashe out of the fight completely. Yeah, I think Ashe got like an arrow and 2 auto attacks off in that fight.
Yeah, we're seeing the build. This is why. And from that, you know, our Freak of Freaks just don't need to build armor in this game at all anymore. You know,
right,
as long as they keep that Ashe down.
With that much of an assassin threat, of course. Yeah,
right,
I didn't have faith, but now I have faith.
Ooh, now this is the last dragon coming out. It is a mountain dragon.
Like they're just gonna do Baron a little bit
they're
faster.
not going to test it. That's just.
Oh, Oriana sombreroed.
Oriana shockwave burned.
Sombrero.
Yeah. Happens to the best of us. You know.
Of course. So Varus off of that fight alone got his Ruin's Hurricane.
Even if that ball was in the pit, it would have been a miracle if she stole that. Of course, the Kayn was back in base, there was no smite too.
With the Kitsune smite coming out, yeah.
Now, however, even though the Freak of Freaks won the last 2 or 3 team fights, they are still down in this game. They're still
Oh
looking to
yeah,
fall
they.
back to be the ones on the forefront. To
Well,
be the
they
ones
they have a gold lead,
attacking.
right? But they're down a lot of towers and a little bit of vision. Actually, no, they're up in towers. What am I saying? Yeah, the gold lead looks to have shifted completely. Dragons are the only thing they're down by right now. And it's I have to say it's like off the back of this Oriana. It's like almost completely. That would be a leadership honor from me if I was in this game. So looking at the item builds on LTR, we see 2 Warmog's armors, and from that you're really missing a lot of tank sets that you could be getting with other items. But the raw health, I feel like they wanted to just power it down and brute force whatever objective they could with their health, right? You'd have to think something like that
They
was
would
in
have
the
to.
playbook.
Plus, having that Warmog just adds all the more to the luck of the Iron Solari on Nunu in this case.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
scaling off that
I think
mass
it's alright, but yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I don't know. Wow.
that's gotta feel good for Alexandria. You know,
Yeah,
that feeling
blocking
of
the entire. Oh,
yeah.
here comes again. Here comes again.
Here it comes again. Oh,
And that
and
was a
this
little
time,
bit more.
that was a little bit more. Getting that true damage off of that sleep control bowl. But
But yeah, that's the Abyssal Mask adaptive helm coming out, and Nurchard's damn.
it's gotta
Okay.
feel good, you know, as a top laner when the enemy Zoe's such a impressive high burst champion. Cannot even get through
Yeah,
your granite shield.
can't even get through your shield. Yeah.
You
Oh,
know, it's the and that blast
Leona
cone just
looks like he's
takes
getting caught.
Zacast over the wall. Might have been a little bit too far. He hits the sleep control bowl. Hits
they're not
so
going to
these
commit too
hits
much
the
because
battle
the
star.
was in base.
Went in too far
Okay.
while his team was too far behind him, was not able to get any follow-up in that little fight. Now,
So we have a 50 CS lead in top lane, which is like alright. It's just a little bit of an item advantage at the moment.
here, the gold has actually swung the other way. 2k gold lead on the side of
Yeah.
Freak of Freaks, but so far that gold lead, we have not seen outside of team fights. Right now,
Yeah,
our Lords
you're
of
not
Earth are
seeing
still the
it.
ones controlling the tempo, the pace of this game. They're the ones forcing Freak of Freaks to go where they want them to go.
Right. I really do hope we see more wards coming out of the Leona here. Well, mostly I guess everybody, but you know, just more vision to be able to not get caught out by whatever LTR is planning. Sorry. Like Nunu's setting up this flank on the left here, in topside river, but it's gonna be this team's on position to follow up on that.
Seems like we have gone back to. This is just a little side note. I'm pretty sure I've only seen Azir summon his little center on that exact turret.
I think that's the only turret he summoned.
That's the only turret he has summoned it on.
This game, yeah.
I'd say that's a bad choice. Pretty good choice for a turret, you know, keeping that mid lane pressure up,
Oh,
closes
yeah.
off that river. Ooh, good poke coming out onto Train Boy, Sand Soldiers, along with that Zonya's, I'm sorry, not Zonya's, Rylai's Landry's combo, getting some good burn damage now. Zoe using her Pearl Bow only just to clear the
Everything.
wave.
I think it was
Position.
trying to clear the wave out to make way for his bubble. Okay, that's what I like to see.
Baron is
Two
up.
pink wards around Baron. I like it. Getting
Again, the
vision
Baron
control.
dance.
Yeah, this is
Right.
I have to say I don't think they should force it down or even make a.
Galio's
Oh.
coming up from the bot side, looking to stay in range of that hero's entrance. He's in range of his team now. Hero's entrance.
Bot lane
Not
is
needed
pushing for
this time.
LTR though.
Who knew? Just going for the poke.
So they do have bot lane priority for LTR. Oriana's pushing top lane right now.
Alright.
which
Things
is
to watch
interesting.
here. We're looking for the Ash arrow, the enchanted crystal arrow to come out, or a great Emperor's Divide to engage from the side of Lords of Rift, or
Oh,
perhaps any ultimate from the side of Freak of Freaks to engage. A little bit of Shadow Step. Quite a high move to be coming out from that game.
oh, they're just burning down the
they're
Baron.
starting it,
Yeah,
and they're just burning that
no respect.
down. Already down under half
No
health,
vision,
down to
yeah.
quarter health,
You
fifth
can't do
health,
anything
no
about
health.
it.
And that is a Baron complete, and on the side of Lords of Rifts.
You can't do much about that as the Kane here. You just have complete vision control of the Baron area.
And just nothing coming back on the side of Free Freaks. They gain nothing from that Baron, a completely free Baron.
Yeah, nothing. They didn't trade anything for it. But the
Now,
Elder's
Elder
coming
Dragon
out here.
spawns. If they have Elder Dragon and the Baron at the same time, this might be the nail in the coffin for Free Freaks.
It might be, but the team fight still might come out ahead because they've made impossible team fights happen before, you know.
They have this.
Alright, Baron's at 6,000.
It's already down below
3,000.
2,000. They might just burst it down.
Baron's just dead, yeah.
Might say, however,
I mean, Elder Drag.
yeah. Kayn gets that just kill onto the Ashe, gets a little bit of kill onto the Azir. The damage is gone from the side of Lords of the Rift. They might have gone a little bit too far here. It doesn't matter if they got both Elder Dragon and Baron. It doesn't matter.
Even with Elder and Baron, they still lose the fight, and it looks like AFK will have to just go back and get their lanes. Maybe some vision control in their own jungle. I would like to see, but
I would still put this. Overall, I would still put this in the favor of. This might sound a little strange. I still might put this in favor of Lords of the Rift though, because even though they lost that fight 4-4-0, the lanes were pushed up, and as a result, they're losing.
Of course, yeah.
Just one turret off.
Varus being
perhaps not even a turret.
General nuisance.
Ooh, Shockwave hits nothing.
Hey, look at how much damage he did to the Galio after like.
And a great arrow comes out. However, hits Zac cast instead of Sean, and getting a little bit damage up to Leon, a little bit of poke damage. Goes down to about 2/3 health for his troubles.
And Sean's just free firing that backline.
Now this Varus is up to 3.5 items. Once he completes that Blade of the Ruin King, he'll be nigh unstoppable in his damage output.
For sure, for sure. I would like to see Blade of the Ruin King and then maybe, well, hopefully, like, I don't know, Guardian Angel or maybe Fluid Dominix regards.
Ooh, that needed a little bit too far for his own good. He is tanky, but he does not have any mobility in any sense.
He does have the Warmog to heal him back up though.
That Warmog is just there to give him help. And there it is in action. Maybe back to full health, and the turret at no health. It's like he siphoned all that energy from the turret.
Because the Galio survived with Baron and Elder, they get pretty much a free push here.
Rose Rift going in. A double stun onto the Zir and Ashe. And just Ashe completely burned down once again.
Whoa!
Just everybody dying to Kayn. Kayn going in. Still has that Umbro Trespass. Goes in. Does not use on Zoe. Still alive. Triple kill from Kayn. However, trade back onto the Orianna, taken down by that Galio. And ooh, quadra kill by Bobo the Monkey. This Guardian Angel getting popped.
You have to imagine this is at least an inhib. Probably
this is at least an inhib. Yeah, death timers are minimum 30 seconds, and that is even with the Ashe dying at the start. Death timer for Galio at 50 seconds.
We'll go through that fight. The Solar Flare hitting the two most important people.
Solar Flare on both Ashe and Azir.
On both the Ashe and Azir, and then Kayn flashing in to get his entire burst combo off on both of them.
That follow was
just really good.
Very, very, very clean. Very.
I'd love to hear what the comms sounded like in that fight.
Just as soon as that damage onto that Azir and Ashe is down,
you knew the fight was over after that.
You knew the fight was just going to be in the other way. And you were right, an inhibitor on the side.
It was they got an inhib and a tower off it. Gold lead's now 5k in favor.
Gold lead is now 5k, and these fights are looking more and more dire for.
Wow, that's 4 towers. 4 towers and an inhib off of one fight.
Arrow comes out.
Arrow coming out.
Hits onto
not enough follow up.
Sean, and Sean is just.
What am I saying?
Goes in. Slap down.
Beauty shuffle though. Really good shuffle.
Now, Lords of Rift are now just definitely the ones on the back foots.
He like instantly sold his longsword and bought a QSS after that arrow hit.
I do. If you notice, I do love that Azir back.
Oh yeah.
If you notice, he's playing low.
That skin is so sick. Yeah.
A low game of was it Go? I believe it was Go or Othello maybe.
Not sure.
You know, he had that low board with those white and black pieces. Could be anything. Could be playing checkers.
Oh man, Zoe damage is coming through on the Malphite. This push isn't going to be as easy for
Strange.
them this time.
I do have to point out a strange thing. We do not the only penetration items we see on both sides is that Lord Dominic's on Ashe. We see no Void Staff on Orianna nor Azir, and
Right. I think
penetration
that's what he's building the blasting one into, the Orianna here. But you know,
You
your
could be
guess
right,
is
but
mine at this point.
coming out very late at this point, going
Of
for that
course,
Rabadons instead of
course.
the
I mean,
Void Staff.
Truth
Looking
be
to-
told, better late than never. But I mean,
there is merit
would've
to that.
liked to-
It seems as long as they just burst down the squishies that Azir and that Ashe, doesn't matter how much penetration you need against the tanks will
for sure.
end up not being able to carry out their mission. Blue buff going over to that Kayn for a little bit of extra damage. Or yeah,
He's
honestly at
just
the point where
flying
she might
around.
not need blue buff anymore.
Orianna, yeah. I mean, who else is gonna get it, right?
Yeah.
I think Kane might like CDR, I guess, but
Alright. Last time we said that the Baron and that Elder Dragon Dance was the crucial fight. Now, it might just be this fight instead. Sleeper Trouble roll hits onto Zakcast. However, that auto slot is blocked by the...
feels good, man. Didn't even break the shield.
It's gotta feel good for that Malphite.
Of
No,
course.
just showing them who is rock solid.
Who is Rockstar? We got a late stopwatch coming through from the Ashe here. Might stop him from getting bursted by like 1 or 2 people. But
Kayn has
then
watch out
after
here. He
that-
shows himself bot side.
oh, he bought it into the.
Yeah, and there's a
sorry.
ping by the Nuno onto that Baron. They see Kayn bot side. They're looking to just start this Baron.
Oh yeah,
and
they have
rush it down.
vision on Kane, yeah. Oh, but he's got movies. He's quick, so
Yeah, he has
I
to
don't know.
run
That's a
his
good
way back
idea.
here, as they see the Zero going back as well. Here we see the Baron dance is definitely going down.
It's really just a lot of vision control from the side of LTR, which is good. They've really good like bird secure ability, right? With the new
Ooh, and a flash coming
and
out
the
by Zakcast,
Zidane.
having to get away. That burst still comes out huge.
That is a lot
Great.
of damage.
Shockwave onto
Oh,
TXOs. Umbro Trespass comes out, as well as the Sulfur knocks down that Azir in a second, but Ashe is free firing on the backside. Nobody's on her this time. She has a
Nobody's
Guardian
touching
Angel
the Ashe.
taken down. Zakcast going very low, gets taken
Oh
down.
my god!
Double flash,
The Ashe,
double
nobody's
taunts
touching.
onto the Train Boy and Sean. Sean is free firing on
Oh,
the backside.
Sean's
Ashe is
free firing as well.
backside.
Both
Which
AD carries
AD
have
carry
free.
will win this time. It seems like Sean will be the
Oh.
loser. 4 for 0.
Don't
And that is,
don't jinx it.
oh my god, that is a 4
Wow.
for 5. That is an ace.
That's the game, I
Side.
think. It has to be. They have the minions.
That might
No,
just be game indeed.
yeah, it might be
Shooting out
game.
from Zoe.
At least Nexus Towers. But wow, that was
They have a huge tank
So-
in the front line, in Galio. He would be able to tank up pretty much everything.
of course, yeah.
Although I might not agree with
The Ashe tanking, yeah.
the Ashe tanking it.
Oh man.
And your first
What a
choice might be
fight.
on. What a fight!
So
indeed.
when Kane like all in and bursted down the Azir with everything that he had,
This just might be
the Ashe
Kane
was
going in. Yeah,
yeah,
Kane will
it
won't
looks
be
like it's
and
game.
they won't be able
GG.
to. This is first game going over to the Wizard Rift.
Wow,
Soon.
you called it right.
Ish.
Oh, don't
Oh,
jinx it.
perhaps not. They're
Uh-oh,
fighting back.
uh-oh.
They're trying to keep him down,
Oh
but
my-
no,
alright,
Ashe is
that's
still
it,
fighting,
yeah.
and that is first game.
Alright, you called it. Good job, man. Wow, that was insane.
That was quite the last fight. But that just points out, up until the moment that, as the famous Scar said, up until the moment,
they lost
lose,
the game.
they're
they
winning.
Were winning. Yeah,
and that is what happened to
that was
what happened to
that
Freak
was.
Freaks.
I'd love to see. I'm looking at. I just want to see the gold graph this game.
Now we
Oh,
pointed
man.
out that in the last few team fights, yeah, Freaka Freaks won them, but they all shared one thing in common. Ashe died. Just at the very beginning, Ashe just
Mhm.
died and
Whatever-
was not participating in the fight at all.
The Guardian Angel coming through was phenomenal. I had doubts. I had my doubts because I thought they would dive a little bit deeper on the Ashe, but their Wombo combo team wasn't really doing what they were supposed to. So
Now they pulled it, yeah, they pulled it off to a degree, but at that point the Ashe was too big. In the end, her Guardian Angel was popped, so that was a very good buy from her.
of course, yeah, that was what saved the game. I think.
That might have
Look at
just
the
saved me.
look at the damage chart though. Shanti with 40k damage on Varus most in the game, but unfortunate.
All right. Now, the first game that is going over to Lords of Rift, but we will take a quick break and soon we will be back with game 2 between the African Freaks and Lords of Rift. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to week 6 of the Dominate Risen Esports League.
Indeed,
That
welcome
game
back.
won, I have to say. That was quite something.
Oh, it was insane. I loved it. Clown Fiesta to the max.
Down Fiesta to max now. That, I believe, no, honestly, I really have no words for what happened there.
All right, let's start with this. What do you think? What do you think we'll see coming into the draft next game?
Coming to the
Because
draft,
I personally think that Zoe's not going to make it through again.
probably not. That Zoe was, honestly, I do have to give props to like that Zoe just being able to take all the focus, all the attention. You know, they did focus Ash until that point where they just sort of lost focus. They took out Ash so early in the fights that
Of course, yeah.
they forgot how much potential damage she can have.
I'd like to see a little more coordination on the side of AFK this time. Considering, like, especially in team fights, because they have like the clear team fight winning comp, but it's like most of the fights that they were winning were like when they'd blow up the AD carry and mid laner right away.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see if LTR this time goes for something crazy or keeps with might go for a sort of team fight draft themselves. And
Okay, so
we're
pick
into
bands
the
come through. Yeah.
pick bans.
So we got our first ban Echo. I think that has to be a target ban. I will
Oh,
double
that is
check
a
that one out.
strange Leona still staying there. All right, that we are back. That is a first ban Echo.
Yep.
Same as last game, just focusing on that Echo. With good reason. If that Echo gets ahead, very annoying. Good team damage, good
Right.
skirmish damage, all around. Great power. Leona ban
No
coming out this time.
ban. Okay, we got a Leona Bard bans.
Ban
I
Bard.
like it. Yeah,
Is
Bard
that target
bans.
ban again?
It's targeted. Yeah, it's targeted again. And I think
Yeah.
the Leona is just they didn't want to play
I
against
think
it
it's an
again.
interesting
Kane,
ban.
definitely targeted again.
Yeah.
And the Nuno, good, taking away half of that ridiculousness. I'm interested to see which junglers they pick up this time, though.
Because mostly this time, AFK don't want to have to deal with the extreme pressure that Nuno puts out everywhere when it comes to
Of course, yeah.
the objectives he can take. I mean, everybody saw how fast that Baron went down, how fast that old dragon went down.
And the first pick Zoe comes out.
First pick
Wow.
Zoe, indeed, being able to just use the fact that a Freak of Freaks lacks a ban and be able to take that oppressive Zoe this time. A Tarek picked up.
We don't know if it's going to be mid or support.
That's true. It could be mid Zoe this time.
Love
Although I would like to see the Zoe go bot lane. Tarek, a very powerful support, but is known for his ability to counter melee supports.
Right.
At best, he does okay against ranged supports.
I think that their goal in that lane is just to sustain and farm up. I think that's what they have to do at that point. You see the Ornn coming through.
And this time Ornn coming through before he can bend in second phase, and a Zac as well.
Alright, so we're seeing some pretty tanky members here to make up for the possible Zoe support.
Ornn, extremely powerful lane even after the unstoppable nerf.
Yeah.
Still has high base damage, high low cooldowns. A lot of things going for him. And Rengar coming out from side AFK.
Rengar.
Now here's the most interesting point. Rengar can go top if he so chooses.
Of course, yeah.
I don't recommend it, but he can.
The Rengar Ornn matchup though, he gets bodied pretty hard by that one. Yeah. So I doubt it, but it's possible.
Now while he can, I would like to see this Rengar go jungle, of course. Zac very weak in the early game jungle, while Rengar could get that invade down, punish that Zac.
After all those nerfs that came through in Season 7, yeah. I hope we see another Orianna coming through out of AFK.
Yeah, AFK still have to pick their mid laner and their top laner.
Azir banned out.
Azir ban.
Interesting.
Not quite scared of the Orianna so far. Might be
Yeah.
scared of an Azir combo coming out. An
Jinx,
Ashe ban.
Ashe, double lady carry ban.
No, I'm not
Interesting.
sure if I quite agree with the Ashe ban.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Like he performed well, of course, but
Yeah.
I don't think he was the crux of the
Well,
win,
it was
right?
true, yeah, that Ashe won them that last fight. It was due to their oversight of focusing
I
on the
think
Ashe rather than
I think
her being too far ahead.
the double infernal had to have something to do with it. And
Definitely. That's interesting.
oh, okay. Well, here's the thing. The jungler for AFK is a big Kha'Zix player.
Oh, that's true.
It's a target ban, but they already had a jungler, so
Are
I
they
don't really
expect
understand that
were
one.
they expecting the Rengar to go top then? That
I It'd be
that's
interesting.
not exactly what we
Well, we
think.
got a Malphite. We got a
We got
Malphite top,
Maokai.
so
We got a great lane top, Ornn versus Maokai.
or Maokai. This is
Everybody's
gonna be
favorite lane.
fun. Uh, Interested
And
to see
we
the
need the
mid
AD
lane matchup.
carry and the either support or mid coming out from the side of Lords of the Rift. Now it seems like no, it's troublesome to choose what to go into that Maokai and Rengar. People who can just dive you and stay on you the whole time.
He picked
And he
Kog'Maw.
picks a
Okay,
Kog'Maw.
Kog'Maw is a pretty powerful pick right now,
He is a pretty
so
powerful pick,
I
but
respect it.
yes, I actually think that's kind of risky going to this team comp.
Oh, they're
Absolute lack,
stealing away the
still
Orianna.
taking the Orianna for themselves. They
Oh,
know what's up.
They stole it away from AFK, dude. That's insane.
I wonder what AFK can pick in this team comp against LTR. I would like to see somebody that is able to just do high damage, putting too much pressure on those
I,
Caitlyn's too much.
you know, I'd imagine to see like a Malzahar here, like if they were picking purely meta, but I doubt it.
You can see a Malzahar, maybe even one of those high artillery champions such as a Ziggs or a Xerath.
Yeah, Zig Zareth, you know.
And oh,
Okay.
okay,
Oh, we're getting word that
yeah,
that's a
that
Rise pick.
pick was meant to be a Rise, a very buff and purple Rise, no doubts. One that is all juiced up.
Okay. Well,
Uh,
as much as I would have loved to see Mundo Oriana lane, Rise Oriana
I
is
would love to
much
see that. I would love to
Rise
see that.
makes much more sense here.
We will force them to stay on that Mundo for the sake of seeing such a pick. But indeed, it is that Rise rather than the Mundo as last pick. So we will be
Okay.
seeing a Rise versus Orianna mid lane.
Interesting. So the Rise can go tier into Abyssal Mask here,
He
which
can.
is it's a pretty powerful build, considering majority of the damage coming out would be magic damage, and it'll give him a lot of survivability as well as mana for damage. You have to imagine though that the like oh it's never mind it's a PvE nerf. It's a PvE nerf right now that Rise can't do the stopwatch into portal anymore.
Really?
So
I,
yeah, Realm Warp. Yeah,
I've not
it's on
heard
the
this.
PvE.
What does that change?
It's on the PvE. So Rise right now can't on PvE can't do stopwatch into Realm Warp, which is like one of his. It's like the
Yeah,
ultimate
his
escape.
his
Yeah,
signature save your move.
exactly.
That is a peculiar change, but
Yeah.
we do see that Arise coming out this time.
Interesting. Okay.
A
I
little interesting display for everyone. No graphic magic.
I I don't know why the Jinx or Ashe ban came through though. I I
Jinx has
mean,
been shown. She has shown to be herself to be quite powerful in solo queue.
of course, yeah. Especially with the buffs recently.
Yeah, being able to really take over a fight, especially if nobody
Yeah.
gets on her. Especially if that Zac does not bounce her back into the team, or if that Zoe does not bubble her, Jinx could have
Hmm.
just free
Yeah,
fire
free reign from range, you're probably right there.
onto that backline.
So interesting thing to note is Oriana starting with cleanse. Should be might be pretty alright, considering the point and click snare. Yeah.
Yeah, Rise's snare actually does last a very long time.
Right.
I believe 2 seconds,
Something like that, yeah, with the E on it.
something like that. If he gets that E down, that spell flux buffing all his abilities. Now this time,
You have to think though that they were setting up for a Rengar Orianna combo though,
you would think
and
so,
by
and
leaving
then
it
they
up,
take the
yeah,
Orion away, which is a good
exactly,
idea,
yeah,
good pick.
that was pretty clutch, yeah.
Now the lanes to note here, of course Maokai Orin, there's not much to be said about there,
Hmm.
but this is for a side of AK, it would really be on Rengar to make something happen here.
It's difficult because Rengar doesn't really have too much like good gank pressure until he hits level 6, whereas Zac can like hit level 3 and have like a lot of CC and kill pressure, right?
Yeah, quite so.
Lane I'm interested in seeing is bot lane again.
Bot lane again
Um,
with really
it
really
it
interesting
could be
picks coming out
volatile,
here.
of
Really
course.
volatile lane.
It could be because of the if the Zoe lands a bubble on the Caitlyn. I mean, they could. Tark does a really good job of like turning fights around with his heal shields and stun.
Yep.
Team fighting in this game, I might have to personally. I might have to give the edge to AFK here. The Taric ulti mixed with like Maokai just tanking everything forever. I think that
Well,
might
Tarek
be
is nice. He lacks the range that's Leona had last game. He lacks that
right.
amount of
I don't think they'll be using him for
pressure.
engage though. I think they'll be using him more for like peeling and countering the
That's true.
engage from.
Oh, then it'll be up to this Zoe to be even more annoying than last time, if that is possible.
Of course, I don't know
You
if
have to
that's
wonder
gonna be
if
if
it's
that's gonna be
possible.
possible. I think we're gonna see like I think they're gonna be a little bit more wary and careful in lane rather than getting just chunked out by her every couple minutes.
And oh, I do have to say, every single time I look at the pro draft, the Mundo trips me up, and I wonder where will the Mundo go.
Oh, of course, yeah. It's like
But
Moon. I would have loved to see Mundo Oriana. That would have been
Mundo, I would love to see Mundo. It has been a very long time since we saw Mundo, and
Mundo
I
anything.
do,
Yeah.
I, in a strange way, I do miss him. Now, as you did say, that is a cleanse picked up by the Oriana. Last second, Zoe changes her Ignite to a Exhaust this time. I believe that to be a good
That's
choice.
probably because of the Rengar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although Tarek does have that. Although, maybe not in this game. In the last game, I would say that taking Exhaust might have been a better idea, but in this game, you have huge heals out of the Maokai, a little bit of heal out of Rengar, heal out of
Right.
Tarek.
Right.
A Ignites could go a long way
Uh,
in this one.
I think you're right, but I probably just Bramble Vest and Morello's and Executioner Callings just coming up from everybody here probably.
Yeah, one would
Instead,
have to hope that's
um, I like as for builds this game. I think I've seen the rise of like a tanky Rengar build, going Cinderhulk, Black Cleaver, and then stacking Jarn's Fist items so like Sterak's Gauge and Titanic Hydra. It's all right. I've seen it work,
it
but
could work.
I still think the assassin mentality build
On this game, I
might be
would,
better here.
yeah, I believe Rengar should be going Assassin.
Likely, yeah.
The best, it's sad to say, but the best protection for this Kog'Maw right now is only that Orianna.
Right.
Orin's protection takes a little bit of time to channel, and so does Zax's. So Zoe, the fastest thing that can get to Kog'Maw in time is Orianna's ball and himself. So if he goes
Right.
Assassin onto Kog'Maw, and Kog'Maw doesn't get
Just
early
one shots
protection,
him, yeah.
just one shots him.
You're probably right.
Just good opportunities for this Rengar, just snowball
I think
and keep that Kog'Maw down.
it's really weird how like they have like a really like front to back fighting team comp, but they have a Kog'Maw, and like normally when you pick Kog'Maw, you'd want to like be able to protect him with your picks, right?
Yeah. But that's all in the face of these top laners. Of course, we haven't really discussed these top laners so far because the story of Orin versus Maokai has been played out so many times, but it has been played out so many times for a reason. These two are very strong top laners, and they
Very
will really
strong meta picks, yeah.
They will really be the ones to decide these team fights. Looking for the call of the Forge God to not so much keep Rengar down as to keep Rengar away and
Right.
to get a long range hit on that Caitlyn. Now I believe the dream scenario for Lords of Rift would be to get that Call of Forge God on 2, maybe even 3 members, and for Zac to just bounce them straight back in with an Orion
Right.
Shockwave.
Oh, and then like the brittle effect on all crowd control extends it and amplifies it, which is insane.
I believe so. And that Zac Let's bounce into Orion Shockwave is really that dream.
That would be a
On the
pretty
side
crazy
of
combo.
Africa Freaks, however, compared to last time, they don't really have as much of a team fighting comp.
Yeah, you're right there.
I'm looking
It's
for
not
the
too much. It doesn't look like they're going to be trying to go for a lot of wombo combo team fights.
It's really up to Turk, but I believe the Oriana is a great pick in Turk. Turk's ult, of course, takes, I believe, 1.5 seconds to channel. Oriana's can call her down in a split second and can just bait out that Turk ultimate and still get her combo in.
And I think if we're talking team fights, Shockwave for what's the name of it? It's Cosmic Radiance, the Targ ultimate. That's a really good trade to get
Yep.
in the early stages of a team fight. Whereas like they both can turn the tide of a fight, but one's like making your entire team invulnerable.
And here we go into the second game of this series between Lords of the Rift and Africa Freaks. We have Pimph in the top side, Osh in the jungle, TXHOS on Orion in the mid lane, and Herunthalion and Steak and Shaco in the bot lane. On the side of Africa Freaks, we have Alexandra, a sub this week for Africa Freaks in top lane, but with a monkey. And we'll have to cut that off because a fight comes out.
Oh,
a 5-man Dazzle gets Osh down to nothing.
Dazzle.
Just pops into so
Take the Zac.
We'll take off
take the Zac and be happy. That's a first blood Rengar. That's the that's a longsword. Oh boy.
That was just amazing. Amazing Dazzle, beautiful Dazzle. I got Dazzle. That was a 6-man Dazzle coming out from Tarek.
Insane.
And that is
Rengar
exactly
bought a talisman instead of a longsword. Okay.
That is exactly what Africa Freaks are looking to keep down Lords of Rift even more in this early game.
Yeah, so that's really impactful though. That Rengar is ahead on his like stacks, and Zac doesn't have his passive.
Of course, here we see Rengar already getting that 1 stack in. Of course, that's only 1 AD plus 1% AD. Practically nothing in this early game. Worth about 50 gold, if we have to say at all. But keeping that Zac down, you know, the Zac already difficult enough to clear his jungle as it is, but this time with a late start, it'll be even worse.
Okay, good to know that Rengar is going blue buff to like.
Orion getting a little bit early poke down. Of course, until Ryze gets that level 2, he's not able to really combo his abilities very well. And Orion can just keep him at range with that command attack. A little bit of trading going on top lane. Just these two mega tanks sizing each other up. However, Orange should get the upper hand. Dazzle just slightly out of range this time. Getting none step 5.
Rengar looking to counter jungle this blue buff here, which is really good because Zac has no passive.
Ooh, I do have to wonder over there. Yeah, Zac has no passive. Rengar has a much stronger early game and gets a jump in.
I don't even see the
second part of his savagery and gets the flash.
Oh, he's going for it. He's insane.
And he goes for it. Does not use the flash. Does not finish off the kill. Might go for a flash kill this time. No, does not go for it. And skirmish goes up on the top side. Rengar forced to take that.
So
I
think the reason that Rengar didn't die there was because the Ryze cheated up ahead of Oriana, and Oriana didn't want to face check like 3 people. So if Oriana was the first to rotate there, I think Rengar would have been a dead.
Ooh, great damage on the Steak and Shaco, forcing the heal out from her and Thailand. Just as long as that Zoe doesn't have early stuff, she's out of mana. She's unable to use anything.
This is the
And
sustain advantage coming through, yeah.
yeah. Turret could have free reign in this lane. Also to note, small side effect, but Zoe has been using her Paddle Star a little bit liberally and has caused her AD carry to miss some CS. You know, that damage from Paddle
Oh,
Star.
we got another dazzle coming out.
Here's another dazzle him, getting 2 hits off, getting 1 hit off. This time the trap does not land on
Gotta be quicker on the trap
Zoe.
there, yeah.
Yeah, I was not able to get that full combo out. And Zakas takes quite a bit of damage from Kog'Maw for his troubles.
So now this is a Zac in the jungle with no flash and no passive.
Yeah, very.
I have to say I
difficult
was skeptical of the Rengar pick coming through, but
really worked out.
he's been bodying this guy pretty thoroughly so far.
I'd like to see even more counter jungling coming out with this Rengar.
course,
However,
yeah.
his red buff did time out, so it's a little bit more difficult from now on.
Some fun stuff in the top lane. Just 2 big tanks doing big tank things.
Maokai is actually up on CS here.
Right, one's got a wave
just
coming
going
to
a
him,
little bit.
so.
A little bit lax on this CSing. Orianna ahead in quite a lot, ahead in potions, in farm, and mana. So keeping that lane down very well.
Right. Looks like Ryze is just gonna try and recall, get his tier and come back to lane. He did start the ignite though. I didn't catch if he had an unsealed spellbook or not. Did you happen to catch that one?
I believe he did start Unsealed Spellbook as, honestly, as I believe it's probably the best
Oh, it's
Summer
very
spell
clearly
right
the
now.
best summer or rune right now.
rune right now. Rune that creates summer spells, that is.
Yeah.
Farm very even so far. Sleepy Trouble Bubble misses. Paddlestar misses. Zac in the bot side.
Oh,
Might not
I think
be
he's
as-
baiting the
Dazzle
fight.
coming down.
Oh.
Flashes her way outside of that Euro snap trap, and Paddlestar comes back on a Sean. You know, gets hit when he got pulled back by that stretching, those strikes,
Wow.
that Q from the Zac.
So even though it looked like the Zoe was getting caught,
Sleepy Trouble Bubble misses. Potion's forced to be popped by both members of the bot side of Freaka Freaks.
yeah, I have a feeling they're just gonna push out, and recall, grab the.
Zac showing that he's not quite out of this game yet. He'll get that
Yes, yeah.
those things out. Seems like Rengar's just farming this whole time.
Yeah, I think that's what he's like supposed to do. Powerful in this 6 and then look for a
this
gank
is-
on the mobile bot lane.
This is a little bit of power play time for Freaka Freaks. Both summoners of Stake and Shaco are down, as well as the heal from the Kog'Maw.
Mm-hmm.
If Turk is able to get that flash dazzle in, that could be a dead Zoe right there. However, she does get that
Oh, it looks like
cleanse.
Rengar's shooting towards the bot lane, so.
She has a cleanse
doesn't
off of the.
seem to be anything.
This might be a big fight coming out. Zac way in the bush. They do not have vision that he is there, actually.
This could be a pretty crazy 3v3, but it looks like Rengar's just gonna be farming.
Yeah.
Good ward
and
coming out.
Good ward coming out. Showing that Zac is there, and they just back off, staying back. Rengar staying along the bot side, of course. Good idea in case the Zac tries to start anything. This time, of course, they're not able to go for that extremely early dragon. Yet they still try to.
Oh, they.
It seems like they don't have any vision on this, and Rengar is very low.
Right.
Might not
Oh,
be able to pass this.
Rengar's 100 health. Yeah, you can't go for
And
it.
they are going for that very early Infernal Drake.
That is really good dragon control.
That's good call. Freaka Freaks have no idea this is happening.
Interesting interaction coming out of top lane.
Good poke damage, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't, so the Maokai used his W on the Ord as he was using his E dash thing, his wall knockup, and it looked like the effect was cancelled and like they just swapped places.
Interesting interactions indeed. Most likely unintended by the Maokai, but in the end worked out well enough for him. Does have that sustain and that stat magic.
Okay, looks like Rengar's pinging
Yeah,
his
through that
way to mid lane. It's pink
incessant
warded.
Rengar
Also
does
coming out
have
of
to go-
Rengar here. Oh!
Uses it all a little bit too late. Flash coming up from Train Boy, gets stats. Rune Prison, forces
Nice.
stats. Ooh, nice damage. Forced that cleanse, but cleanse was not
Okay.
enough.
No summoner spells on this Orianna now.
Interesting how
Yep. He had stopwatch too, but you have to imagine that the Rengar is going to come back in
Rengar
60,
did not even
80
have to use
seconds.
flash
Yeah.
that time for that
Yeah.
kill. Still has the flash for a kill if he so chooses.
Yeah.
And that
Rengar's
was the
gonna be
ignites
back
of
in
the
80
Rice coming
seconds,
in to
I
finish
think.
off that kill actually.
It was a good
I'm
flash
sorry.
rune prison.
That was red buff from
Because-
Rengar coming in to finish off that kill.
Right, right. Another stack for him. Pretty good.
Another stack for that Rengar. You know, collecting the trophies, putting them up on his mantle.
Zach trying to control top river scuttle. Little does he know, top side river is pretty much
Oh,
useless this game.
there's a double buff Rengar.
Yeah.
However, Alexander is a little low here. Orin has quite a lot of mana, has that Call of the Forge God, might be looking for a kill here.
Oh,
Goes in
didn't
for
say,
the
right.
knockup, hits the knockup, and gets that brutal, and still has Call of Forge God. Goes in for Call of Forge God, and one hits, and the second hits. And
Interesting.
knocked into a wall is that Maokai taken right back in the forest.
Really good vision.
Zoe has a low 6, so she's able to just start. Ooh,
Oh,
490
good block,
caliber
good block
nets.
coming out. Oh,
And interesting plays coming out from side of Freak of Freaks. Not sure if I agree with
they've
them. A little bit too
they've all
confident.
summoners. Oh, no dazzle.
Zakaz come in, yeah, for Dazzle. Still has that
Good
huge flash. Ooh, early flash
Yeah.
coming in.
Cosmic
Turn that
Radiance
Cosmic
coming
Radiance.
down, yeah.
Overall, a very pretty cocky play coming out from the bot side of Freak of Freaks. Not really respecting that way on a roam.
They didn't,
However,
yeah, there's
Rise
some
and
neat
Rengar are
plays.
roaming as well. Gets a stun down and the Ignite down. Ignite exhaust down onto the Kog'Maw. Forces the heal out of Kog'Maw, however, turn. Shockwave onto the
Big shockwave.
Caitlyn. Caitlyn's able to back off, however. Sleepy Trouble Bow does not hit onto Bow Monkey. Train Boy is still providing pressure. Members of a Freak of Freaks would have to back off from this engagement now.
They keep fishing for this.
Yeah. Both teams think they can do it. Both teams with very low members. Each
Kog'Maw
wanting
is
to
at
make the
0
outplay,
mana.
wanting to make the crucial play.
He's looking to recall right now. Zoe's looking to keep fighting. Oh my god.
Ooh, goes
Oh
in with
my
her own
god.
flash and gets it. Wow, really pushing limits to Zoe here. Doing the damage. Repeats.
Oh, and he
last
steps
game.
on the trap!
Steps on trap. That Rengar going in. This is Sleepy Trouble. That Rengar might just get the Zoe here.
No, he didn't get the jump off!
Did he get jump off? Didn't go back in the bush. Did not
Rengar
get
didn't
that.
go in the bush.
Crush.
Oh, Maokai stopped the teleport. He canceled
Yeah,
the
Maokai stopped
teleport
the
door.
Might have
Might
just
be
stopped
punished for
a
it.
turn onto his bot lane there. Turn
Oh
onto the
man.
Rengar. Quite. It's just a game of inches there on the bot lane. An inch away from that bush, and he would have gotten in the bush, proc that passive. That jump. Second jump. Rise jumps over the top lane. Nature's Grass coming down, roots down the Ornn, however, still charges his way out. Tries to get some damage back on Rise as he just slowly walks his way out. Trust Advance coming in down onto the Ornn. Not much else. No
Interesting
room for the
teleport.
And just walks his way out of there.
Interesting teleport.
Still
but
has his flash
valiant
and his Call of
effort.
the Forge God.
Looks like both top laners are going for Abyssal Mask again for the first item.
Now
Rengar
compared to
coming
this
in.
points last game,
Oh,
it's much more.
Rengar looking for the
Yeah.
kill on Oriana here.
Yeah, Shockwave
No
coming in to
flash.
stop that. Oriana.
Really?
Cleanse comes out and Stopwatch comes out, but this time she is too low and too far away from her for anything to
He
happen.
almost
Ooh,
turned
very
it.
close.
Oh,
Very close.
very close. But that wasn't even Rengar ulti. Oh my god.
Oh no, Sleepy Trouble. This time she sits on the trap, gets hit by the Dazzle, and that is dead.
That's
that is dead
dead
Zoe.
Zoe.
All that frustration from a Freak of Freaks just comes out in that one play.
Feels good, man. Oh, Rengar might get executed here.
Yeah, Rengar
Never
really playing with
mind.
fire. Or rather playing with rocks. Playing with his food a little bit.
I've never seen a cat eat a rock, but
Never
it's
seen a
the first
cat
time
eat a
for
rock?
everything.
I don't know, I've seen some pretty some pretty special cats. Zach goes in for the bot side, force that Cosmic Radiance out of the turret, comes in the nick of time,
Wow, it was
Zach-
really well timed.
well timed.
It came out so that they wouldn't they didn't extend too far for it.
And there was some real confidence in there, you know, Sean not having to burn that heal.
Exactly,
and
yeah.
Tarek stays alive. Caitlyn with 1 kill and 1 assist to 106 farm. Looking to just get some more items on to her
just extend the farm lead.
Yeah.
Try and be bigger
Interesting
monster
build
than
coming out from
Kog'Maw.
Caitlyn here. Wants to get that Vin Edge first item, but gets another dagger as well. For some.
I think he just had a
And this is just a freaking
Another Infernal
sleeping
Drag,
honestly.
wow.
A second Infernal Dragon given away for free. Repeat of last game. And dragons, if not in the kills. Dazzle does not hit anybody, so
Oh man,
the Lords of Rift just keep on going at it.
this is crazy. Rengar is so fed right now,
Ooh.
but
Alright, stopwatch coming in just in
stop
time.
right onto the trap. Right
on
on
the
the
trap is not enough. And there's a little time issue. But, ooh, great double
Oh,
cone.
flashes right onto the cone. Yeah.
Another flash blown by Orianna. Had to be blown. The Ace in the hole hits on the Zoe, but just barely out of damage. Not enough damage.
Ryze uses his Realm Warp to get down there a little bit quicker.
And top lane is top lane. We have seen one
Top lane is
two ganks
top
topo
lane.
top lane. And Ornn just
Man.
yeah, it's just really showing that power of that Ornn. Zac is the only one down the bot
Slide
side.
over Maokai. I am
Not sure if the Zac is able to
top
stop
lane.
this. Gets stunned up by the Caitlyn. No trap this time. Flash coming in from the Turek. A little bit overstepped. This time the trap comes out. However, Kog'Maw is almost in range. Might be able to save the Zac. Or not.
Oh no.
The Zac is saved.
Oh no.
Turret's taking damage. Oh, and the turret aggro goes back on the Caitlyn. This has...
So when you hit Zac Club where it's under tower, you draw aggro because you're technically hitting a champion.
That is true.
So it's
Might have
so
been the
unlucky.
worst possible outcome for a Freak of Freaks there.
That was after all their good gank escapes and fight escapes that they've done, they die under tower. Oh,
and
Sleepy
the
Shovel coming through.
The
Oh,
90
he's
caliber
dead.
nets?
He did. He did.
What's not enough? He did. What a
Rest
fun
in
interaction.
peace. Oh my god. I'm not afraid to show how much I dislike Zoe as a hero, but I mean, I think this guy really enjoys playing Zoe.
And you have company in their Freak of Freaks as well, you know?
Really shows a lot of
With how many people? Now, it's the first time that these two have met up in the jungle since the early game. And it seems like Rengar still shows who is the king of this jungle right now. Ornn coming down, not able to come down. This will be a 2v3 if Ryze comes in, and Ryze does come in, gets the finish on the Zac, but might
the Zac died too,
his own
yeah.
life. Cleanse out of Rune Prison by
Oh my god. Alright,
Orianna,
what?
but
Oh,
does not
man.
time it right, gets finished off by that command. Resonance
Man.
doesn't...
I'd-
Resonance,
even
not
if
A in the
even if I were, that was way too aggro of a
Yeah.
play to be going
Very
through.
aggressive.
No
That
top
Maokai
laner,
had
but
just
even
backed.
even if I was on their team, I'd be spam pinging that Maokai teleport.
Yeah.
Just because.
Maokai had just backed, walking back to lane. Ornn was still in lane. That was for sure. However, Caitlyn's still pushing. They will get first turret out of this.
No, first turret was.
Oh, first turret was already taking bot side. My bad. Forgot how much
How much fun Zoe is, yeah.
Yeah. So
Looking
they
for
do get a return turret then.
Sleepy Shovel bubble coming in for the Ryze here. So we
Comes
used
in,
her real
hits the
flash to get in.
However, Rengar comes in.
What?
Oh, just finish it off, but that's thrill of the hunt.
Zoe used her real flash to try and get some damage onto the Ryze here.
Very cocky plays coming out and not respecting this 5-1 Rengar on very far ahead. Come mid game, once that Rengar finishes off his Duskblade, it would be a dead Kog'Maw every time. That coming out with the
Cosmic Radiance coming in. They're just gonna finish off the tower with it, yeah.
No bounce coming out right now. And turret is finished off. 2 turrets in favor of 1 for a Freak of Freaks, getting that early mid-game turret. They're rotating, looking for the Rift Herald.
Rift Herald, yeah.
And
so right now, I like what LTR has done here. They swapped the Ornn down to the bot lane because he's ahead of the Maokai and is kind of I will say out-dueling him, even though there will be no duels.
And he is outdueling him. He is up 30 CS. Very short.
Right.
But there's,
so they have some pressure down, split push pressure down bot while the objectives are top side. And you got the teleport coming in.
That Kog'Maw does have his
assuming...
Gwynsu's, does do a lot of damage. Let's bounce come in, bounces that monkey right into the path that's Call of the Forge God, and Lords of the Rift are just cleaning up on the back
Beautiful.
here.
Now they have bot lane pushing as well. You're
Yeah,
gonna
bot
take
lane pushing as well.
mid lane.
Rise
you can
has
take mid lane
to
tower, and I think Oriana's gonna be taking top as well.
Rise
That's
has to just
two
farm top lane.
towers. Yeah, oh, he's gonna farm it, yeah. He's not even gonna try and defend mid. Wow.
And this mid tower will go in favor of Lords of the Rift. It'll be 2 towers for 2 as the mid lane is just farm out in top lane.
Yeah,
And they're looking for another one
tower.
here.
Yeah. Oh,
They will be able to get a second tower here. Kog'Maw being able to do a lot of damage with that Bioarcane Barrage. Have you ever thought about the name Bioarcane Barrage? Does Kog'Maw infuse his spit with magic or something?
Yeah, that's always been interesting to me. Like, what's arcane about it, you know?
Yeah.
The fact that it does magic damage.
spit does magic damage.
I guess it's
the backside.
interesting.
The backside of those turrets, you know, not Freaking Freaks, Lords of the Rift are just cleaning up the jungle, taking whatever little bits and pieces they can.
Of course,
Bobs.
taking that bottom scuttle.
And
So the red buff's coming in for Kog'Maw here, and this is a Rageblade, Zeal, Zerk Greaves Kog'Maw. So he's gonna be doing a lot of damage.
Kog'Maw doing a lot of damage. Really up to this Rengar.
You really wanted to see this Rengar like do a little bit more in the ways of assassinating the AD carry, but hopefully we see that coming through later on.
Now Dragon has come up. This time it is the Cloud Drake.
It's two people top, no teleport with for
That is true.
here.
It's very risky coming out
So this
from
could be an
Freaks.
easy force for Drag.
But they're going on this Rengar. They're not going for
force
the Dragon. Caller Forge God goes in, hits the Rengar, comes in with this bounce, stretching strikes, hits 2 of them together. Cosmic Radiance not coming out in time. Here comes that's Nature's Grasp. Roots up 1, roots up 2, roots up that orange. Orange still tanking it up though. Backline Kog'Maw is just having his own fun little time. And
right now, I think
end,
they should
Rengar
move to
gets taken
Dragon.
down.
Try to take a third Dragon while the jungler's down. Get some
The
pressure.
jungler is down. This will be a free Dragon for the side of Lords of the Rift.
Right. I want to see some vision control around the top side. So in the AFK jungle, I want to see some vision control in there for LTR because of the Baron spawning soon. I would still. It's troubling. Like I think you should still send the Ornn bot, but he doesn't have teleport coming up for a little while, just to get pressure away from the spot of the map that you want to focus on, which is like top 2 turrets and Baron.
Zorion has just
Zoe just one shot.
Not even her own flash this time.
No bubble.
No bubble needed. My god, this Zoe. Showing
What a
why
great
they picked it in
hero.
the first game and why they first picked it in the second game.
Oh man. If this goes to game 3, you'd have to imagine.
You'd have to imagine.
Zoe.
There's no way they let Zoe through this time.
They won't let it through a third time, right?
Third time? Yeah, I know, you have to wonder. I mean, they already let it through a second time.
Interesting pick and ban phase.
Maybe this time they'll ban the Ornn or Zac instead.
No, they'll find something that wasn't really the issue, and ban it.
Rift Herald popped by Rengar and
Oh, what they were trying to do, they were trying to get the Rift Herald to spawn over the wall in the Crux to get it stuck until they really wanted it, but someone messed up spawning it.
did not spawn it in the correct position, and the Rift Herald just goes on top side.
Which, like, isn't exactly, like, the worst thing, considering they want top tower dead anyways.
Yeah, the top tower is still the
I
only
doubt
tower.
it's gonna make it there, yeah.
They are rotating in time. But here, Freaking Freaks is rotating with them, wants to keep it alive.
This is crazy. The Ornn is a full item ahead of Maokai right now.
That Caitlyn is such a bad spot, has to just farm up. Command Shockwave coming down onto the Maokai, but he is tanky, he's staying alive for a long time.
Realm Warp coming with 3.
Gets him down. Realm Warp comes in, gets the whole team in, 2-man dazzle onto the backside, and that is just a snipe with the Call of Forge God. Ornn just able to clean up on the backside.
Tanking the tower.
Tanking the tower this whole time.
That's crazy.
405 Ornn, ahead of by a full item.
And they're just gonna force up the Baron with their Kog'Maw.
They are not able to, Freaking Freak's not able to contest this Baron.
Okay. Interesting.
That Kog'Maw damage just, and it's gone. First Baron, 23 minutes goes over to the Rift.
Well, interesting. But we see QSS coming through for Kog'Maw. I'm assuming because of the Rude Prison and Dazzle. Okay, so I guess we're talking about like the CS differences right now.
Yeah.
Both mid and bot lane for AFK are ahead by 30 creeps ish.
Well, that is, I do have to say that is misleading because while the whole time Kog'Maw was going on with his team, Caitlyn was forced to just split push.
Of course, yeah. She was just farming while Kog'Maw was like actually getting kills and doing things, right?
Yeah, quite so. I had like 2 kills and 3 assists.
That's why the gold lead isn't like near 10k by this point in the game.
And here, 24 minutes of the game, overall gold, they are ahead by 6,000 this time. Bigger gold lead than they had at this moment in last time, in the first game. Instead of stagnating their gold lead, they are actively getting everything they can on the map, pushing out the lanes.
So Rengar has gone from 5-1 to 5-4 in the past couple minutes.
And that might have been a mistake of a Realm Warp. The turret going by himself.
Oh, that's interesting right there, yeah.
Can
we call that one the Mike Young, or?
Not sure if they want go in anymore without that Cosmic Radiance. Rengar popping that throw of the hunts, but Kog'Maw staying
There's really not
too
much
safe.
you can do. Yeah.
No,
they're just gonna dive the tower. Like, there's
taking
not
down
a
that
lot you
Caitlyn,
can do.
that's Searching Strikes, and that's Call of the Forge God. 2-man, let's bounces them right back in the team.
And Zach survives with a hair of hell.
Hair of Hell.
Yeah,
Still has
that's
that
gonna be it. And he's got Warmogs to heal himself back up. That's an inhib at least, yeah.
Yeah, that is 3 members down, 30-second death timers. Zoe going with a real flash this time, still showing them whose game it is. Let's see about Dazzle does. Oh no.
What a...
Kog'Maw just free fire in the backside. They might just keep going off the back because
yeah.
they have that Baron buff.
Oh, they can't. Don't do that.
They're going.
Oh man.
No, they're going. They want to finish this.
Zoe teleporting to save the minion? Oh my god.
A smart teleport, actually.
Interesting, yeah, that was great. Save the minions.
Caitlyn doing her best to get some damage down. Bouncing in, does not bounce in time. Power Restriction Strikes hits the Caitlyn. Distance. Shockwave does not hit anyone because everyone is dead.
Zac goes,
Rise and Rengar are up. Zac comes back from Still's vision.
The tower's gonna die if they don't do anything about these minions. Yeah, the tower's dead. They didn't do anything about the minions.
Yeah. They finish off the tower. Rise
so
going.
That's an exposed Nexus.
And tries to finish off the Ornn on the backside. He's making his way. Oh, gets that one last spell flux. And they clean off the back of that fight.
Crazy. That was...
I believe it was 3 for 1.
That was 4 towers and an inhib for, what, 3 and 1 kill? Like, at the end of the day, yeah.
Lords of Rift might have been risky, but it was... I
think it was worth it.
Definitely worth it. There are no
it kind of just brought the... the Rise back into the game a little bit.
Yeah. And here, just because they can, they'll take themselves a 4th dragon. Kog'Maw just gonna
2 Infernals, it's 2 Infernals, a Cloud, and an Ocean Drake.
And an Ocean Drake.
That is so... That's
such a roster
stacked
of dragons.
Not up yet.
One more dragon will spawn this time. Another Ocean Dragon, that seems.
Another Ocean, that's...
If they do not take down this Ornn and the Zac, they will not die.
At this point in the game, you gotta think to yourself, how does AFK come back and win this game, you know?
How will AFK come back? Last game, they had that moment of hope with their superior team fight and better scaling, but where is it this game?
Right, it's just not. It doesn't look like it's gonna happen this game. Like, sure, maybe the Kog'Maw walks into your team 4 or 5 times in the next 20 minutes. I guess. Like, that'd be.
They have to just hope for misplay at this point. Is the best chance they have.
It's just like because LTR is just slowly choking them out through like vision control, taking all of their jungle camps.
And here they are pushing down the mid and the bot lanes, pushing down the wave in the mid lane as they rotate bot side for that last outer turret, making sure that's the only thing that belongs to Freaky Freaks is their base.
He missed his Battlestar. Never mind.
Misses Battlestar. However, Ornn does not miss his abilities. Gets stats.
Wow.
Call of the Forge God, and Kaylin is just having the worst time of her life right now. Train Boy getting hit
Tark
bad.
had the flash.
Command
Off
Shockwave.
that, yeah.
Both damage dealers on the side of Freaker Freak's dead as they get that outer turrets. As
No,
Lords of
at
Rift
this point, it's like
taking the whole
game.
rift. Dazzle does not hit anybody. There goes the
Oh.
last slingshot. However,
Rengar.
knocked away.
That is best case scenario Rengar play.
Zoe
3 people diving in, no peel on the Kog'Maw, he still lives through
still
it.
lives. At this point, this is a horrible position for Freaker Freaks. Do not know
They
if
should
they're
just
even
skip the
able
inhib.
to-
Skip the inhib and just end.
Let's
What,
bounce. Takes and Zac cast. Zac cast taken out.
I think
And
we're
soon
looking at a
the
GG here.
Next will follow unless Caitlyn has something to say about it. Caitlyn tries her best, but just gone from there.
Yeah, unless
is-
Caitlyn has something to say about that one.
She has nothing to say. Seems because her face is in the ground, and that will be the game.
That's
to Lords of
serious,
Rift.
yeah.
There's a
That's
2-0 for
insane.
Lords of Rift over Freaker Freaks.
That's 2-0 week. That's pretty good.
And this second game, I must say, much cleaner than the first one.
Much cleaner, yeah. They didn't stumble in the mid game this time. They pushed their early game advantages like right away. That was insane. It does feel bad though, of course, looking at the
Right,
Like
does
if
they did try, and in the end, I do have to put it down to this pick ban phase where
of course, yeah. Letting the Zoe in the second time that was abysmal. And I think they need to focus on
Yeah.
different bands next time.
yeah, definitely. And going, if we do check up, I believe going into this. If I can just find it here. Going into this, Freaker Freaks were 4-1. They will now be 4-2.
Damn.
Still number 2 in their division, in Division 3 in Group A. Not changing any ranks there. And LTR, Lords of the Rift. I'm blind, I can't find them. They are actually in the same division. They were 1-4 in that division. They will move up to 2-4, depending on how the other
Wow.
games go. They might be tied with EOD, ethanolamine dioxidase diphosphorylase, and really not what I expected. Maybe a little bit of team synergy coming out. LTR finding common ground,
Right.
or maybe a Freaker Freaks just not
I
being able
think-
to pull off a
I think
watch.
it might have to do with the subs and the communication not being clear enough, right?
Perhaps
That might have been an issue there, but
outside
we'll
of
never
one
know.
gank in the early game, nobody really visited top lane, so there's most likely a lack of communication there.
Right.
And that'll be it for today's games. We will be back tomorrow with Champions League.
That should be really exciting.
Champions League, which has been voted, and you can still vote on our Discord for which game you want to see. And after that, we will be back next week with the
More Rampage.
Rampage team.
Yeah.
Rampage game being streamed on Friday, Dominate game being streamed on Saturday today, and again the Champions teams being streamed on Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And we will see you next week.